It's fair to say New Zealand's Cambridge stud has come a long way since it was sold by founder Sir Patrick Hogan to Brendan and Joe Lindsay. As Henry Plumptre explains, the sires are settling into a great routine with plenty of success and more to come.
Down towards the line, too good. What you wish for is what you get sometimes.
The filly by El Manzor, number 9 Cheval d'Or for the Oak Stud and Tony Pike.
Henry, it's been a wonderful past 12 months or so for Cambridge Stud. I mean, it's sensational seeing the deeds of the Almanzors on the track, and the farm is really consolidating now after several years of, new brood mares and a whole new feel to the place.
We've come a long way in 5 years. That's largely thanks to the people that are involved in the various departments on the studs, and the development side of things and the purchasing of mares and bringing those young people into the team and developing them as well. I think we're showing the fruits of that now. We've got a great team up here at Karaka, we've got a great team back on the studs, and the racing stable. So consolidation time, you know what the racing industry is like, you can never stand still, but we're just going to slow down a little bit now and worry about the next chapter. You mentioned Almanzor, and it's having a Derby winner and a Karaka Million winner in your first crop is exciting for us. And they're still selling very well. The trainers still want them. He could be a very important part of the next 5 years.
That must be a real sort of pressure release to see him getting those results from his first crop.
Well, we're only as good as the people who buy them. There's been a lot of goodwill and a lot of support. Now, you would argue that trainers won't go and buy, or an agent won't go and buy a horse he doesn't like just to support you. So obviously there were good physicals, but we've got a spread of horses across New Zealand and Australia with great trainers, and that's a great start. He's a very important part of the future. Hello Youmzane's going to be just as important, and it's a nice connection with Harris Etraham in France with Nico de Chambure. Nice to have that connection with him again with a second horse. Everyone's asking us when our next horse is going to arrive. Well, the answer is he's not going to arrive anytime soon. We just need to see a fundamental shift in the broodmare numbers in New Zealand before we start investing in another horse.
She's all class, 3/4 Argentia, Exolita, Megamere late.
And the racehorses too, in the golden black checks, Exolita, Pinarellos and Polygons, and there are so many others that are coming through. Some were bred or some were bought as yearlings. All the pieces of the jigsaw are sort of piecing together.
I think so, and I think, we're in a performance-based industry. If they're not winning races, if those black and gold checks are not there in the winner's enclosure every now and again, we're doing something wrong. Pinarello and Polygon were both homebreds out of mares that we own. I mean, obviously Pinarello's mother has produced 4 stakes-winning horses, one black, one Group 1, one Group 2, another Group 3. Zonza, she's a bit of a blue hen. Polygon's mother, we couldn't get her in foal. That's why she went to Highly Recommended, who was very fertile. And he got her in foal one jump. And we said last year when yearling time came up with her, if you put her in the ring, she's probably going to make 50 or 60 grand. And she's a beautiful type. So we made a decision to race her. We put her with Lance, and she's just gone from strength to strength. Exolita was another great story because one of our biggest supporters in New Zealand is Trelawney Stud, and she was one of the first fillies we bought at Easter in 2018. Paid a bit of money for her. She had a beautiful pedigree, obviously last spring. She's won a Group 2, she's Group 1 placed. It's been good for us, it's been good for the Hayes boys. It's great for Trelawney, who've got a half brother here by Too Darn Hot, what we call a talking horse.
I'm absolutely blown away, absolutely blown away.
It is building on, new generations of history from what the late great Sir Patrick Hogan set up, of course, at Cambridge Stud. And the heritage centre you've set up, I must say, the statue of Sir Tristram is, I couldn't take my eyes off it. It's unbelievable to look at, isn't it?
With Patrick opening it, that was a bit of a pinnacle for Brendan and Joe in terms of the development of the stud, because everything that we're trying to achieve now and in the future and acknowledging the past was in that heritage centre. And it's all upgradable. It's all set up so that we can add pieces to it and add bits to it. But when the old boy came and opened it with the family, with Justine, it was an incredible day for everybody. And he was very emotional, the old man, and he's come up 2 or 3 times last year. We were very lucky to see him on a number of occasions. The Queen's funeral, we had a big event at Cambridge Stud for the NZTBA because she was the patron, and Patrick was front and centre at that. He came for half an hour and he stayed all morning, he did all the interviews, TV interviews, which was wonderful. We saw him once more after that, and you know, I'm sure he's here. Well, when we're walking these colts up and down here, sometimes they stop at that fence and look at it, and I'm sure he's wandering up behind that fence, banging his catalogue saying, get up there. This remains the most important sale for any New Zealand breeder, and the national sale is part of that whole tapestry of the breeding industry. If you don't have a national sale, you're on the way out. That's my view. A lot of people would disagree with me, but I'm so old I can remember what happened in Ireland when Goffs decided that they were going to move their operation to Newmarket, and it fell absolutely flat on its face. You must have a national identity at home. It's a long time I've been coming to New Zealand and watching the relationship between Australia and New Zealand. There's a huge competition there, whether it's rugby, whether it's cricket, whether it's racing, but there is also a brotherly thing going on there, you know, maybe big brother and little brother, but they look after each other and they complement each other, I think.